Hello, hello. It's me again. And I'm coming here because I I feel convicted about something. And I'm someone that is very retrospective. I can apologize when I'm wrong. And God has given me such a gift. I'm a good listener. I'm a good communicator. And people seem to trust me. People seem to be able to come to me. I don't know what. At some point, I used to say, God, people always come to me, and when I want to share, there's nobody there to listen, which is not true. It's because I mostly keep things inside because of pride sometimes, right? Because I do have people that I can share with. But some of the time, I like to go through my thing myself, and just because I feel that I don't want to burden anyone. But God has given me this gift. And last night at the women's meeting, we are talking about purpose and calling and stuff like that. And and I realized something, that it's what comes natural, what you're drawn to, the area that you're drawn to. I am a people person. I draw people towards me. People like me. Some people don't, because I have a bubbly personality. I'm a bit much, but I'm only a bit much in social situations. I'm very introverted. Otherwise, my circle is very small as it relates to friendship. But the other day, I had a very um, nasty, not nasty disagreement with a friend. And it was a moment of betrayal for me with that friend. And in that moment, to defend myself and to clarify my position, I divulged things that I shouldn't have said. Um, I divulged things that I shouldn't have said, though they were true. Those were information that were trusted to me. You understand? And I'm not that person. I always say, if we fight, nothing that you told me is gonna come out. But in that moment of betrayal and wanting to prove myself right and wanting to clear the air, I divulge information, and I want to say publicly that I'm sorry to that person. I'm using my platform to do that, right? I'm using my platform to apologize. Whether they were wrong in what they did or not, I don't care. I have the responsibility to apologize, because I have the calling of, I wouldn't say counseling, because I'm not a counselor, but as a listener and as a I'm a, what you call that, empath. I can understand people. I can understand people without judgment, and I can offer feedback and comfort. That's naturally who I am, right? So for me, the fact whether that person did it or not, to me, I am the one with the bigger responsibility, because I know my calling. And again, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. The person know themselves. I don't know if they're ever gonna see this, but the person know themselves. And I'm still in my devotion. It has been hours, right? And the more you get closer to God, is the more He shows you yourself, right? And He shows you what you're doing wrong. So in the middle of this devotion, I had to stop and write a long message to that person, apologizing for that thing. I don't expect an apology from them, even though I think that they had wronged me too. But I have to do what I have to do. I have to answer to God, right? So when much is given, much is expected, right? Of us, we do not need to we do not need to prove that we are right. We do not need to prove that we're speaking the truth. People are going to believe what they want to believe. So in essence, what I'm saying, be careful with your word. And I'm talking to myself. Be careful with your words. Don't let emotions let you do things that you will regret, especially when it comes to friendship. That that is important. My friend group is very small. And when I call you friend, you're very, very important to me. And I will go above and beyond to make it right. And it seemed pushy at times, but that's just who I am. If you're important to me, you're important to me. If you're not, it doesn't matter. You understand? So let us, for me, and you know, during the 21 days of fasting, God was speaking to me about wisdom, about speaking, and a lot of that. And I'm telling you, some of the time you have to be tested in areas where your calling is. And God is going to have to expose you to change you. So don't be afraid of the exposure, and don't let it scare you, but let it change you, because God cannot use you in the area where he has called if he does not expose the weakness, so he can strengthen them, fine tune them. Okay, because now there's so many times, you know, even another thing, some other time somebody may share something with you. I say, I can tell you, because you don't know the person. You do not have the right to open your mouth and share it at all. Whether or not you know the person, or the person doesn't know the person, it's not your story to tell. You understand? You say, you know, I'm going to tell you something about something that happened to somebody. You don't know them, so that's why I'm telling it to you. And you justify, no, it's not right. That should stay with you and never leave your mouth. You, them, and God. And that one situation, you know, and you'd say, okay, I have a best friend, I can tell the best friend everything. No, God is showing me that that is wrong. Keep people business. And I'm going to tell people, when they're telling me something about other people, no, I don't want to hear it. Because that is going to, I have learned too much in this little season, and I know what God is calling me to. I don't want to hear it. I don't want, and I'm not going to speak it. Because if people see me as someone that they can always come to, and they can always be safe, and they feel safe to express themselves, it should be safe. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what they do to me. It's between them and God. But my responsibility is between me and God, right? So that is what I'm saying. That is what I am saying, and I publicly apologize for that. And I did repent, and I asked God to forgive me. And when I'm telling you, God is showing me, and he's changing me. And that's all you can do. We're a human, flawed human being who make mistakes, but the goodness of God will forever correct, it will forever transform, and it will forever guide, you know, if we allow it. But don't be too big to acknowledge where you're wrong, and don't be too what you call it now, I would say stubborn to change. Be open, be like a clay in the potter's hand, and be willing to go through the fire of hurt, the fire of pain, the fire of betrayal, even when the betrayal is from you. And to live with yourself, and to say, I am wrong, and to ask God to transform. And even when the betrayal comes from others, be willing to forgive and go through the fire and allow God to do the transformation, because you cannot answer for anybody else. You can only answer for yourself. So let God do the work in you, as I am letting him do the work in me. Live a fasted life. Some things come out only through prayer and fasting, because some things are embedded in us, and we need God to break them. We need God to break them. Have a wonderful day. God bless you. I hope this will encourage someone to make it right, to forgive, to apologize where necessary, and to take a hold of this deadly weapon, which is called the tongue. God bless you. I love you. Be deliberate about your time with God, because he is the transformer, the one who transforms our heart, our mind. Have a wonderful day. Bye.